In eyes with little or no capsular support, IOL implantation options include anterior chamfer, open loop IOLs, iris fixation IOLs, or scleral fixation IOLs. When there is no iris support, scleral fixated IOLs are the only option. Scleral fixated IOLs offer several advantages in certain eyes because of its anatomic situation. There is less endothelial decompensation, chronic inflammation, and less peripheral anterior synechium, glaucoma, narrow anterior chamfer, or cystoid macular edema. Foldable IOLs introduced through small incisions allow for safe manipulation of the eyeball during the procedure, preventing anterior chamfer collapse. Furthermore, the surgery can be performed under local anesthesia and there is a quick visual rehabilitation. However, foldable IOLs are manufactured in a form that has no eyelets on the haptics. Thus, tying the sutures at the symmetrical haptics points can be technically difficult. In this video, we would like to present a new modification of injection and implantation of closed-loop foldable IOL for scleral fixation using injector. Two conjunctival peritomies were made 100 degrees apart, usually from 2 to 4 o'clock and from 8 to 10 o'clock. Followed by the construction of 3 by 3 mm partial thickness triangular limbo-spaced scleral flaps. One arm of a double-armed 10 prolene suture on a long straight needle was passed 1 mm posterior to the limb ab externo underneath the scleral flap and docked into a 26 gauge needle inserted in similar fashion from the opposite side. The 26 gauge needle with a 10 prolene suture was then withdrawn, resulting in the 10 prolene suture bridging the posterior chamfer. The suture was then externalized through a 3 mm beveled corneal incision using a Sinskey hook, and 10 prolene suture was threaded through the injector and cut. The IOL was then loaded into the injector and the two ends of the suture and tied on the haptics. To avoid entanglement of the sutures, the suture end of 8 o'clock position tied to the leading haptic and the suture of 2 o'clock is tied to the trailing haptic. The oil is injected into the posterior chamber as in usual manner. Tension was adjusted as necessary to center the oil. The needle of each arm of the suture was passed through the scleral bed underneath the flap to form a loop. The needle then was cut off, and the suture end was firmly tied to the loop. The scleral flap was then securely repositioned with a single thin nylon. In summary, our modified technique has several advantages. It allows us to use small incision surgery even in absence of posterior capsule. Since our technique uses an injector system instead of folding forceps to insert the oils, entanglement of the slit in the folding forceps can be avoided. Our modified technique of implantation provides less manipulation in the anterior chamber and to work in closed system. Using closed loop foldable oil avoids tilting and decentration. The closed loop design foldable oil allows easy and secure suture fixation.